Alright guys, welcome to Northeast Guitars. My name is Murdock, and what we're doing today is we're figuring out how to do the brown sound. So if you've read the article, you can see all the pedals that we use in there. I also shared this little snippet on all my socials recently. So you'll notice in that video there that there's a couple of little duff notes. I was really just fooling around because what I've done is I've shown you how Eddie got his sound, and I've also shown how I got it using my analog mini pedals, and I've also got a patch set up on, I've got a multi-effects here, it's a Mo GE200, but you can find many great impulse responses if you've got a Helix or any of those type of things. And I've also included an Ableton Live patch, and it doesn't matter if you've got the paid version or the free version of Ableton. I'll make sure that that's available for download too, totally free, just help yourselves guys. I've also set up the macros on that so you can adjust, turn the phaser on and off, add more distortion, and there's also compressor options there. Eddie Van Halen doesn't use a lot of compression, especially on this album, like lots more effects further down the road, but for this first album really does just stick to like a cool distortion, a really cool phaser, a delay set with a one repeat. Can't even get my words out, sorry. The delay set for one repeat, and then the reverb to add that width to it. Got the delay set up. It's not like Dave Gilmour, it's not like The Edge, it's just you hit it once on the left and then you hear it come out of the right speaker. That's really the secret to the sound of this album, and he does repeat it in future albums. Like if you get as far as 1984 with things like Jump and Panama, you can really hear the guitar in the left with an echo on the right, and that's how they get that nice stereo width on the guitars. Early Van Halen and the brown sound, the birth of it, is really built off minimal effects and usually just the guitar pyrotechnics. So as you saw in that video, I've got some really big strike a pinched harmonic there. To get your pinched harmonic, all you got to do is strike the string with the littlest bit of the plectrum. With the littlest bit of the plectrum, and your thumb catches the sweet spot there. And if you listen as well, you can also get multiple tones depending on where you hit it on the strings, and he's very good at that too. So really fool around and find the spot that works best for you. I usually find that on this guitar particularly, the sweet spot for this guitar is around about the middle of the front two pickups there, the two single coils. Obviously I'm using the back one because he only uses a back pickup. He has other guitars with other pickups set up, but you very rarely hear him using anything except that back pickup. Just all the beef is sat there. So yeah, striking a pinched harmonic at the second fret here. I am in E flat. Make sure you tune to E flat. What that second fret note there is an A flat, but I'm going to call it an A just so you know roughly where we are on the fingerboard. Strikes that, and then tapping at the 9th fret, the 7th fret, the 12th fret, and the 14th fret, you get to get some of the more natural harmonics of the string vibrating with it. So I'll show you again. Then just whatever I did, just jumbling down a blues scale. Taking full advantage of that dive bar there. The dive bombs as well, like you can, the way I like to do them is I'll either pick the string off like so that the vibration is what it's catching. It's not a picked note necessarily, it's just the energy of the string vibrating. If you watch a load of live videos, you'll see him do this kind of movement, like sweeping like this, one end of the string to the other. He's literally just making sure that the string vibrates, and he's using his hand to make sure the other strings don't. So you get this like, do it on the higher strings, it'd get a nice sound too. And again, just using the left hand to try and catch some of those strings so that they don't vibrate when you're doing it. Another fun one is harmonics. You've got natural harmonics at the 12th fret, the 7th fret, and 5th fret here. So, 7th fret, 5th fret. So those little bits there are quite cool. He also strikes in between notes as well. So if you do the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, you can get some really horrible. But if you hit that with a trem bar here, spicy. Alright, cool. So that's some dive bomby whammy bar tricks out of the road. I'm going to show you this lick here. This is ripped straight out of Beat It. I don't care. I know it is. You know it is. I can't pretend I came up with it. 10, 12, 14. So you got that D, E, F sharp. Again, they're all flat. D flat, E flat, F. And then the 15th fret. What he does as well is he does what's called parallel shapes. What that means is whatever you play on one string, just move on to the next string and do exactly the same shape. If you want to get technical, it's E Dorian or E flat Dorian that we're playing in here. And I'm just switching between the E string and the B string. A really good example of this, actually, if you guys have heard Ice Cream Man, there's a killer guitar break in the start of that guitar solo, and it's just the same shape across 4 strings. It's a major triad. So here we got 12, 16, 19, and then ends on the root note of your key there. So that's the 14th fret of the D string I've ended on there. E flat, or E, if depending on how you're thinking about it. And then again, more of that really great Eddie Van Halen tremolo picking. Again, a little bit ripped out of the Beat It thing, but there's lots of really cool examples on the album of where he's using it. What's the Ain't Talking About Love? So you get that type of sound, which is really cool. The tremolo picking that he tends to use, he thumbs it like this. He's got weird fingers. He's got like 3 fingers on so that you can get his first finger on the tapping. I tend to switch between my first and second finger, and truth told, I'm really not thinking about it. It's just one of those things that I needed to get a finger closest to it. Sometimes it's the middle one, sometimes I'll switch it out for the first one. I have a bit more dexterity with the first one. If that means anything to any of you, you might find the same. You might find that the middle finger is easier because you're worried about dropping the plectrum. I sussed that out actually playing Crazy Train, and very, very similar. Oh, let's try that again. So like getting the double tap in there. Tap, 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 tap. But yeah, practice that quite a little bit. It feels and looks like it's very, very difficult. This is a very, very simple technique. You're essentially just taking the hammer on and adding a third note. And a flanger. And some delay. And a reverb. And oh my god, there it is. It's so good. Alright, Eruption, obviously. There is some cool things that he does as well. This little descending tapping lick. Now that tapping lick there, it is in Eruption, but it's also in lots of other guitar solos that he does. You'll hear like that type of thing where he'll mix up with a really speedy blues lick and make sure that you've got the tapping thing in there, you've got the speedy blues licks, and then adding that descending thing. It's just a little bit more authenticity. Again, mixing that Dorian shape, so 12, 14, 15 on the top string there, and then just repeat it as you come down the strings. really digs that idea of parallel shapes across the fingerboard. He actually, he didn't steal it from Alan Holdsworth. He just really likes Alan Holdsworth. Go check out Alan Holdsworth. He's incredible. He plays shapes like massive fingers. It's terrifying, some of the stuff that he does. But the parallel shapes is something that Alan Holdsworth would do quite a lot of. And Eddie, being a massive Alan Holdsworth fan, didn't necessarily rip it, but did incorporate it into his playing, which is... That's what we all do. We're not stealing, but you can't reinvent the wheel. The wheel's already there, you know what I mean? So, like... Steal to your heart's content. That's definitely what I'm saying. Help yourselves. So yeah, when you put it all together, you get those really great tones. So oh yeah, I was doing this as well. What I'm doing is I'm hammering onto the 15th fret and bending it, but as I'm doing it, I'm just pushing down a little bit on the trem bar. It's a bit messy sounding. So let me get that right. And then you press with the trem bar. Loads and loads and loads of whammy bar. This isn't a Floyd Rose, this is just a floating trem, and I've got the lock and nuts on the back there. Just as good. Works for Guthrie Govan, so it'll work for me. Yeah, there is no tabs with this one because I didn't want to teach you Eddie Van Halen solos. I wanted to give you the opportunity to empower yourself to play around and have a little bit of a goof with it, which is why we've broke down the tone, the pedals, the patches, and there's also, like I said, that free Ableton plugin there for you to use. You can adjust all of the parameters on there because everybody's pickups are different. You've got Seymour Duncan sort of humbucking pickups. He also used a Gibson PAF in the original Frankenstrat. That's what that tone is. It's really thin, and so again, using the delay to double up and thicken that sound up. He sounds like an alien on that album, man. Like nothing sounds like it. Alright, I think I've probably waffled on at you guys long enough. Go out, have fun, go listen to this album, get it on Spotify, it's absolutely incredible. I made the perfect Van Halen playlist. What I did was I got those first 6 albums, the David Lee Roth albums, put them all into a playlist, I deleted Jump, and now it's perfect. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, dig in, have fun, enjoy the downloads, write to us if there's some stuff that you want me to cover for you, if there's different album tones you want me to break down, if there's stylistic things that you're interested in. What I try to do is if we have particular guests, I will try and do something that matches it. So last month we did the Lee Rocker interview, so I did some Brian Setzer stuff. That's just a no-brainer. This month the editors, the powers that be, said do what you want, and I was like, yeah, that's a mistake, we're doing Van Halen, baby. So here we are doing the Van Halen video. If there's anything you want, write to us. You can get in touch with us at Northeast Guitars. We're on Instagram, we've got the magazine website, we're on Facebook. You can also find me. I am Murdock Does Guitar everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can even follow the Substack where I'm putting my own little lessons and little bits and bobs and playlists and fun musical ideas for you to play with. Alright dudes, be good, be careful. I'll see you next month. Bye bye bye.